services industry, which involves the planning and organization of food and beverage services for various types of events. The important aspects of catering management include meeting customer expectations, maintaining food and hygiene standards, and meeting financial targets. We all love eating outside. Often, it so happens when we get bored of eating the same home cooked food, we plan to eat in a restaurant. But when it comes to selecting a restaurant, we prefer going to the same restaurant which has met our expectations. This is only because of the good quality of food they had served and for the great service. And to ensure this, every hotel has a food service management department. To learn more on catering and food services, we bring before you our today's webinar, Career Opportunities in Catering and Food Management. But before getting into the session, let us invoke the Almighty's blessings by chanting the Gayatri Mantra. Om Bhur Bhuvaswaha Tat Savidurvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Niyo Yoda Prachodaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. A warm welcome to our respected Principal Ma'am, Srimati Radha Subramaniam ji, Headmistress, coordinators, our panelists, Mr. Vijay Kumar and Mr. D. and our attendees. To speak on this topic, let me first welcome Mr. D. Raja on the stage. Mr. D. Raja is a chef by profession and also an entrepreneur. He runs 3 different segments in catering industry as corporate caterer and also has outdoor catering and wedding catering. He holds a bachelor's degree in hospitality management and started his career in 1993 from Taj Group of Hotels and was in Middle East for 9 years. He started his own business in Chennai and has a strength of 150 employees and caters to almost 3,000 meals a day with exciting range of flavors. Attendees can type their questions in Q&A box or chat box. Over to you, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Radha Madam, Principal D.A.V School, and the complete team of the webinar speakers and activities and participants. This is Raja here, and I'm in the hotel management team for last 3 years. I've been doing the business with the catering, corporate catering, and outdoor catering, and wedding catering, and the food details sales also. So the today's topic has to be to talk about the catering and food business. I've just given a slide of the complete presentation of mine as I get to with some other events coming. I would like to the people the strategy to play on the complete people over there, and they can take a part of it. And then Mr. Vijay will take care from there, and then we'll start answering your questions. Thank you, Mr. Now we can start sharing my slides.
Yes, sir. Ashwinji, we could start with the slide presentation, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Raja,
Yes,
sir, there is a lot of background interference
That's
on
what
your side.
That's what I'm in the events actually. So
Yes, sir, if you could use your headphones also, would be great, sir.
I'm using the headphones only. I'm using the headphones only, but there's a lot of noise in the event.
Right,
so
sir.
That's why I've just given the presentation to take off.
Right, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, sir. Namaste, sir.
Thank you.
A warm good evening. This is Raja here, chef, entrepreneur, catering and hospitality industry. It's almost 3 decades now I'm into the field of catering, and I've been serving for various segments in the same catering field with for institutional catering, corporate catering, wedding catering, quick service restaurants, and outdoor catering in Chennai. First of all, I would like to thank the management of D.A.V school and the principal, Ms. Radha Madam, for organizing the webinar and giving us the opportunity and inviting us to speak on this. Our topic today is catering and food management, and I would like to share that all we know to you. We'll be discussing about the career guidance of this catering and food industry. And here we go. As we start with the career guidance, the first slide would be an overview catering and food management. Food service industry is a large and encompasses those places, institutions and companies that are responsible for any food or beverages preparation outside the home. These vary from expensive hotels and restaurants to less expensive outlets such as quick service restaurants or food services in canteens or cafeterias that could be even in colleges, schools, companies, factory outlets, industries, or even in freight catering or railway catering. Food service industry is referred to a catering industry. Food service management is the art of providing food and beverage aesthetically and scientifically to a large number of people in a very satisfactory way. It requires a professional touch and approach along with the special skills, knowledge, and vigilance at each and every stage of the food service operation. Food service is the practice or business making, transporting, and service prepared foods. The purpose of food service is to supply palatable food prepared and acceptable standards of sanitization and aesthetically served to the clients to whomever we serve. So here we go with the what is food industry. Food production plays a major part in the food industry. The demand for the food cannot fall. There is always a need for food. Therefore, food production pays off very quickly. Proper organization requires with strict adherence to the technology and well-established equipments and multi-skilled talented people to serve the clients with their needs will enhance the perfect satisfaction to the clients. Here we go with the next type point as importance of role in organization of food production. Proper organization with the proper procurement of raw materials, perishables and non-perishables is very important. If the raw materials is stored in violation of the norms, it can quickly deteriorate or spoil the final product. At the next stage, the raw materials are purified from impurities and prepared directly for production. And the production stage of the raw material is subjected to various kinds of processing. In addition, the raw material is thermally processed if required by the production technology. Chemical or biological substances such as lactic acid, bacteria, or stabilizers can be added. The final stage of the production involves packing and giving the product marketable. The packing is marked by information on the composition of the product by the manufacturers. As we have been talking about the food production, let's also see the scope of food management and processing segment. As a part of catering and food management, the food processing technology also provides the highest job opportunities compound to all other sectors. This industry offers various positions through direct or indirect opportunities since in one way or the other it is linked with the manufacturing and agricultural fields. Food processing is a subdiscipline food science technology in which both methodology and technical skills are employed to alter all the raw materials into consumable food. This becomes the crucial bridge between the producers and consumers in food web. So as we have been talking about the food technology process, let's also see the food production technology in a high-tech way. The technology of production involves a complete restructuring of the entire production process. Mandatory purchase of specialized equipment. All production is based on the introduction of nanotechnological production lines. The work should use energy-saving technologies. With such technologies, the production of environmentally friendly products becomes possible for us. Here we go with the next slide, the organic food for a healthy diet. As we all know, people are slowly shifting into a dietary food, healthy and hygienic food, and most of the people are going with the organic food products. The agriculture is the basis of food production. The production of environmentally friendly products is gaining popularity due to the fact that demand for such products is going every day. People want to eat healthy food without chemicals. According to Indian food standards, the organic origin of a product is considered correct of its consistence to at least of 95% of the organic matter. Ecologically clean production involves quality control of agricultural and livestock products. These raw materials must be produced looking into account the natural balance and without adding any chemical substances or any fertilizers and growth stimulants. All processes in the production of the raw materials are based on a natural balance. When producing environmentally friendly products, it is prohibited to use genetically modified products, artificial flavors, and preservatives, as well as enhances the taste of the substitutes. The observance of all these rules will allow to get a true eco products. The food industry in our country is developing very successfully. Raw materials are available due to developed agro industry. Thus, we salute our farmers to give us the healthy dietary products, and we food management experts ensure to deliver the unadulterated food in a healthy way to our customers. And here we go with the next slide of the business opportunities of catering industries around us. The catering hotel industry has witnessed a huge growth in the recent years to the increased awareness and knowledge about the same in the catering business, with a large number of people migrating from the villages to cities to explore and work. In the upcoming years, it is anticipated that the hotel industry would grow along with the global travel and aviation sectors, where international hotel chains are expanding their footprint in the nation, and by 2024, they will have a chance of 50% of share of the Indian tourist and hospitality industry. So as the people, as the students probably, I would say that when they start going with the catering colleges and hotel management degree, they probably think that I will have to work only with the 7-star hotel or a 5-star hotel or a 3-star hotel. I would say that the jobs, more than a star category of hotel, the scopes are from various segments are quite high. You can go with even with corporate catering or institutional catering, the outdoor events, the wedding catering, retail food sales, manufacturing of food and beverage. You can have a choice of anything what you want to do, and you can master on that. The next slide is you go with to become a hotelier in a career, what do you have to do? By choosing yourself into the field of hotel management and catering technology, you need to be from a reputed institute. The basic needs of grooming and discipline is the first step you get into the hotel management and catering technology, and where you have been fine-tuned to learn the importance of the hospitality field. Professionals in the hotel management always enjoy a positive reputation. The hotel management field has a wide range of job options and is expected to grow more than ever. Despite being the most glamorous profession, hotel management calls the experts who can endure the most difficult circumstances. Here we go with the next slide on the carry benefits of the hotel industry. The carry benefits that you'll experience after graduating a degree in hotel management and catering technology. Number one is you'll have a creative production skills. Number two, the serving ability. Number three, handling business operations. Number four, menu planning and designing. Number five, staff management skills. Number six, learning vital skills. Number seven, job satisfaction. As I've been briefed you people with the scopes, the various segments, the advantages of the catering and the hotel management background, hopefully you have been thorough with understanding of the advantages of the career in catering and food industry. So considering the above advantages in the hospitality industry with a wide opening market, with the better career chances in the field, food industry is never a dying industry, and the need of food and beverage is a must for any individual on a day-to-day basis. Shaping up yourself to the needs of the requirements is all you. As I was concluding about the catering and food management career guidances, I would like to also register to the students of D.A.V. that my son Mrityunjay has completed his schooling from D.A.V. Boys Mogape School right from LKG to grade 12. After completion of his 12th standard, he got a seat in Vaksha, Welcome Group Graduate of Hotel Administration in Manipal Academy of Higher Education, Mahi. And within a span of 2 months, he has really groomed himself in the hotel industry, and his disciplined way that has been taught within the first 60 days of his college. He participated in the Entrepreneurship Challenge Competition 2022 conducted by the Mahi University, and he won the Best Recognized Entrepreneurship Award for 2022. It has been a pride for the parents as well as it has proved by the disciplined way of award brought in by the D.A.V. School. Many thanks to the D.A.V. School for this. So I hereby would like to leave a message to all the outbound students of class 12 that apart from the regular academic professional courses, think out of the box in choosing your career, where all your potentials will lighten to the world and you'll be recognized to get the best platform of your career. As I would say, you are open to creativity, smart work, then catering technology and food management will be a very good opening for your career. Wish you all a very good luck for your future endeavors.
Thank
That
you,
was
sir,
wonderful.
for sharing with us. Yeah, that was really awesome. Thank you, sir, for sharing with us your expertise and wisdom. I now welcome Mr. Vijay Kumarji on the stage. He is a chef, an author, educator, and an award-winning entrepreneur and business coach. He runs a group of successful businesses with interests in education, real estate, e-commerce, and companies on living projects around the globe. Over the last 18 years, Mr. Vijay has educated over 15,000 students from 8 different countries, empowering them and instilling in them with the confidence that anyone could start and grow their business. He has a bachelor's degree in hospitality, again a bachelor's degree in history, and a master's degree in business administration from Victoria University. That's quite exemplary, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am, for the opportunity. Firstly, I would like to thank the management of D.A.V. School for taking this effort to get this whole program together. I have looked at some of the videos that were done in the past, and I wish I was born 20 or 30 years later and studied at D.A.V. School, because when I passed out of school, we never had the opportunity of counseling for careers, but we still did well, I think. And mostly when I passed out of school, we had only two professions that were sought after. One was either you be an engineer or a doctor. choices that we had in front of us were very limited, but I chose to go the direction in which many of my friends didn't go, and I took hospitality management. Now, to talk about I think Raja did an excellent job about representing hospitality and the opportunities that are available in the hospitality industry. But I have a few other things to add to what Raja had said before. Now, these are some of the hotel chains that are, it's not an exhaustive list, but these are some of the hotel chains that are available around the world. And today, most of these chains are also in India. So this is just a screenshot of some of the hotel chains that you have. Imagine if you can choose from any of these hotel chains or from any of these airlines. These are some of the airlines that are dominating the airspace now in the world. And there are many more airlines that are not on the list here. Or imagine, this is one of my favorite places, the Sydney Opera House. And you see the cruise liner there that carries about 12 to 15,000 people every day. And there are thousands of cruise lines that are sailing around the world as we speak right now. So this is some place that you can choose to work if you wanted to, or the cities in the world that you can choose to work. Imagine this being your workplace. Who wouldn't want to work in a place like this and having a view like this every day at work, not for a holiday? And you know what the best part about this is? You get paid to do this. Or the extreme left side is actually a hotel in Japan. It's called pod hotels. That's the space that's given to a customer. That's a place where people usually go for businesses. And Japan is a very expensive country to holiday in, given that rooms are quite small. So that's a pod hotel. How innovative the hospitality industry has become to make rooms available at an affordable price. And the one you see on the right side, the extreme right screen, is actually a hotel in snow. So you can enjoy your stay in snow. And the one on the left down corner, is a palace in Jaipur. So many of the palaces are being converted into hotels for two reasons. One is that it becomes very expensive to maintain these palaces, and it also becomes a source of income for the people who own the palaces. And it's a pride for a country. And the one on the right side, you see the lower right. Can you guess us on where this hotel is? Use the chat box if you know where the hotel is. This is probably the latest hotel in Chennai, the Grand Chola. It's an amazing hotel. Now, you have a choice to work in any of these hotels, or this is the actual photo of Universal Studios in Orlando, or one of my best stadiums. We've lived here for 20 years now, the MCG. So imagine this is your workplace. You can work in this place, get paid for it, and have an amazing experience of watching matches. Or you could be working at the Australian Open or the US Open or any other sporting events that people would pay hundreds and thousands of dollars for. Now, this is your opportunity. You could be working, this could actually be your workspace. Or you can choose any city in this world that you want to work to. I would challenge any other industry that gives you this opportunity. There could be many, but I don't think I can think of many industries where you would have a view like what I showed you to work with. You probably work in the back office, but this is what one industry does. But I would also like to, at this point in time, not call it an industry anymore, because we've moved on from the industrial age into the information age. So I would probably like to call it the hospitality sector. This is one sector which gives you ample choice where to choose from. You want to work in a cruise line, you want to work in a hotel, you want to work in corporate catering, you want to work in events, you want to work with the airlines. There is so much opportunity that hospitality sector gives you. Now, why do I have NASA and some food ingredients on one screen? What has NASA to do with food? Any guesses? What has NASA to do with food?
So you dehydrate these food and send them to the astronauts?
There you go. That's why I should never question teachers. NASA, imagine if you're an astronaut and if you had food poisoning when you're up there in space. It's not going to be a very pleasant scene if somebody's vomiting in space, right? So what happened, there is a concept called HACCP. It's called Hazard Analysis of Critical Control Points. At one point in time in 1960, NASA and Pillsbury Institute got together and designed a program called HACCP. So they designed this program to ensure that the food that's being prepared for the astronauts was extremely taken care of and all hygiene standards maintained. So nothing happened to the astronauts when they consume this. And also in today's world, astronauts enjoy the food that we pretty much eat here. It's dehydrated like what ma'am said, but then you just add water and just becomes as good as a restaurant meal. But in the earlier times, people were just chewing on dehydrated food, which was just terrible to eat, I guess. But now in the 1960s, this is a fact. NASA did this with Pillsbury. And what happened was when this mission became an extremely success story, NASA said, why don't we just transform this into an army? The army people are fighting for us around the country. And then why don't we implement the concept of HACCP into the army? And this was first done in the US Army. And then in today's world, HACCP is one that is practiced all over the world in the hotel industry. And congratulations to the Indian government, because I was involved with designing some programs with the Indian government where everybody who handles food needs to have something called a food handler certificate. The Indian government has given itself a few years to implement this in every single hotel, restaurant in the country. So NASA has played a very important role in how we cook food and serve it to our customers. Now, what is the future of hospitality sector? Now, given that I still remember, I'm also a teacher. I used to teach hospitality many, many years back. Now I design programs. And I still remember about 22 years ago, when the first unit that we teach our students was hygiene practices. I had 8 slides on how to wash hands. Yeah, all my colleagues laughed at me. He said, you're teaching people how to wash hands? 2 years back, the whole world was learning how to wash hands. We were far ahead. We were far ahead of the world. We were 22 years ahead, at least I was, teaching people how to wash hands. And today, I think most people knew how to wash hands. Anyway, so I think the future of hospitality sector is where hygiene is going to play a very, very important role in the hospitality sector. Next comes innovation. We're talking about blockchain. We're talking about robotics. Hospitality sector has already introduced these into the industry. Gone are the times when you have to check in into a hotel. You have to go to a hotel lobby where you have to fill up a form. In today's world, you can do that while you're driving from your airport to the hotel. You can even have your coffee ready to be served to you because of today's technology implementations that the hotel sector has undertaken. And then sustainability, a very big chapter that that we all have to be very careful about, because it's about leaving a better world for our future generations. And the hospitality sector has taken it quite seriously. Raja had mentioned about organic food. In hotels now, there are green hotels where they request the customers, if they don't want their towels or bedspreads washed every day, you can put a note on the bed saying that I'm okay to sleep on the same bed for more than one night. So sustainability is becoming a very important aspect in the hospitality sector. Now, what can you do to be part of this amazing sector? There are a lot of options. I could not capture the options that we have into one screen, so I've tried to put just the main options here. The first one is food processing. Food processing is becoming a very important aspect in our lives, because I don't know, I may be wrong, but the last I checked, about 40 to 45% of the vegetables and fruits that's produced in the farms gets wasted. It never actually goes into the market. There are some in companies in India where they are doing small innovations. They actually take the technology to the farm. I know of one company at least which takes the machinery to the farm where they harvest tomatoes and they puree them straight from the farm. So meaning which the wastage of 45% is now reduced to about 15 to 20%, which is amazing. So food processing is catching up. There are a lot of courses that you can do with regards to food processing. And next comes culinary arts. When I passed out of the Hospitality Institute, we never had culinary arts as a separate subject. But in today's world, if you chose to become a chef, you can choose only culinary arts as your specific area of expertise. Then comes general hospitality management, which talks about the general management of the hospitality sector. Then we have travel and tourism, which is again an amazing field to choose your career in. We have event planning, and then we have catering operations. Catering operations could cover companies like Raja's company, which is doing an amazing job with corporate catering, private parties, and weddings. Now, what are the courses that you could do? The certificate 4 is usually in countries in overseas, like in Australia or in Switzerland or in the US. And they also have Cert 4, Cert 2 and Cert 3 levels, but usually it starts from a Cert 4. In India, you also have 1 year and 2 year culinary courses that you can do where you can become a chef at the end of it. And then you have the diploma level courses. Then you have the bachelor level courses. You also have master's degree, and you can also do a PhD in hospitality. So that's it's not many people, when they think about hospitality, let's call it industry, they just think about hotels, restaurants, maybe cruise lines, but there is so much more to hospitality than just those core areas. Now, what are the other opportunities hospitality can open? I got selected in the campus interview, and I went to work for my dream hotel chain, which is the Tatas, the Taj group of hotels. So I spent a few years with the Taj. And then during that time, the excellent thing about hospitality industry sector is that when you are doing any courses, you are constantly being told that the customer is always right. The customer is king. I've been upset with customers, but I've never showed my, what should I say, not disgust, but anger or frustration with the customer. Never, ever. That's something that you do. So what happens is, in today's world where you have to deal with customer, be it a business to business or a business to customer or customer to customer, you are being told that customer is God, customer is always right, customer is king. Let me give you a small example of how an opportunity, when one incident, I can quote many incidences, but this one incident where I had seen this happen many years back. Some of the I think it was Ananda Vigadan or Kumudam, I'm not sure. One of the journalists went dressed in a dhoti and a white shirt. He had a tunda, and he had a jolna pipe, the yellow color pipe. There were only 5 five-star hotels in Chennai. Then there was Park Sheraton, there was Chola Sheraton, there was Trident, there was Connemara and Coromandel. I used to work with Connemara. So this person wanted to check how the 5-star hotels were treating people who were ordinarily dressed. So he went to 4 hotels. The whole 4 hotels probably did not consider him as a customer. Some hotels let him in, but they didn't let him go beyond the lobby. In Connemara, they let him in. Connemara is probably the oldest 5-star hotel in Chennai. It's more than 150 years old, I think, maybe even more. I don't know. But they let him in, and there's still a restaurant called coffee shop called Veranda. So there was this lady who was the hostess of the restaurant. She made this person comfortable. She told him that if he knew where he was coming and what he came here to do, he said, yeah, I came here to have a dosa. So she explained to him in Tamil, saying that dosa is pretty expensive and this is how much you would be paying for it. She did not respect him, or she did not disrespect him. She gave him the respect that he needed, And she told him that he would probably be comfortable sitting in this table, and made him sit at a table, explained to him how it works. And it's not just the menu, there's also an additional cost of tax and everything. And this person said, Adupati kavala padadinga, I have the money. So just give me the dosa. So she served the dosa, made sure he was okay. She escorted him to the lobby and made sure that he was comfortably away. 2 days later, this girl got a call from British Airways with an appointment order. She said, because of her attitude of what she said to the customer, because this was published this is a real incident that happened. I'm not sure if it's Kumadam or Ananda Vikitan, but this was published 2 days later. She got an opportunity from British Airways. Straight away from being from being a restaurant hostess in a 5-star hotel in Chennai, she was in British Airways. I can tell you so many stories about when Citibank first came into Chennai. They used to come to our restaurant and pinch all our staff because they were doing excellent customer service. Half of Citibank people were from the hospitality sector. So there are a lot. I can tell you many stories. Like me, I'm a chef by trade. I tell people I used to be a chef in my previous life. From there, I've moved on to many sectors, and just my attitude towards my work and towards my customer service has taken me a very long way. So there are other opportunities that open, and you don't have to get the feeling of being stuck in the hospitality sector, even if you want to move out of the sector and go somewhere else. Now, I love the saying. It says your net worth is your network is your net worth. I can tell you right now, I can challenge any of you here. You give me a country, a city, I will call and find a friend who works in a hotel or in the hospitality sector there. Trust me, it's happened to me. Any place I go, I just call and ask for people, who's a chef. I just make casual inquiries, and trust me, I've never been disappointed. I always knew at least one person who worked there. So your net worth is your network. And it is not only that the people that you meet celebrities of every kind. I've had the opportunity to meet our great president, APJ Abdul Kalam sir. So I've had the opportunity to, there was a very fond incident that happened with Dennis Lilly once. I migrated to Australia only because I love the MCG. I knew nothing else about Australia. And there was, in my restaurant, Dennis Lilly sitting there and talking to me one-on-one. I would have never dreamt of this when I was watching my cricket matches. That's happened. You talk about, Hollywood stars. You talk about Bollywood stars. You talk about the Queen. I knew chefs who've cooked for the Queen. So that's what it is all about. And also it changes your attitude towards how you look at a customer. In today's world, customer service, people are spending a lot of money to learn about customer service and table etiquettes. And all of this comes to you as part of a course, and you would love to do this as part of your job and get paid for it. So that's pretty much, I think I am done with my time. So I'm open for any questions.
Thank you, sir. That was revelation of sorts, the informations you gave us. Requesting participants to please type up your questions in the chat box. I would rather say Q&A box. We have one question in the Q&A box. It's not a question, it's just a request. Which college is best?
Okay. Yeah. Now, it's a very hard question, but an easy question to answer, if I can put it that way. As long as you are clear about what is it that you want from the industry. For example, let me put it this way. If you want to become a chef, if you want to become in culinary arts, then there are many colleges. Now, for example, let me put it this way also. If you want to specialize in working only in cruise liners, there is a college, I think there's one in Mumbai, there's one in Chennai called Indus. So they specialize only for people who work in the cruise liners. What they do is, I still, because I've done some lectures there and been an external examiner while I visit India, because I have a good friend who's a HOD there. What they have done is they've taken, it's called a galley, the kitchen that's in a cruise liner. They've taken the whole kitchen from a cruise liner and put it in one of the buildings in Chennai. So when you walk into there, it's like you're actually walking into a cruise line galley. And the menu that they cook there is from a cruise line that's operating in Singapore. So if you are going on a cruise in Singapore, what menu you see on board is what you would be cooking in your class in Chennai. This also guarantees you employment, because at the end of your course, there are people from the cruise line industry who would come in and recruit you straight away. So if you want to be a chef in a cruise line, there is this college called Indus. But there are other colleges. There is one in Hyderabad which specializes only in culinary arts. There is also another college in Chennai. So I do not want to tell you this is the college, because at the end of the day, you've got to make your own choice. But in saying that, you can go to the college, have a tour of the college. I think they'll be only happy to show you around, and then you choose from there. But if you want to do hospitality, there is always IHM, Institute of Hotel Management. There's one in Chennai, in Taramani. There are a lot of private colleges. Okay, I just want to clarify something, because I don't want to take the name of the institute, but a lot of the hospitality sector name has been tarnished, saying that if you did not pass your 10th, if you did not pass your 12th, then you come and join us. Trust me, I know people. I know one person who was my mentor. He got an IIT Chennai. He left that and went and joined IHM Madras. He was the youngest general manager in the Taj Group of Hotels. And today, he's the vice president of Aon, which is the world's largest insurance company. So his thought process was, if I do IIT, I'll become a scientist. What happens after that? It's not going to be. You ask any person in any industry if they want to be involved in the food sector, they'll definitely say yes. You know how many people have asked me to consult for them because they want to open a restaurant? They're quite bored with what they're doing. So why you think about so many celebrities: Virat Kohli, MS Dhoni, Priyanka Chopra, Sachin Tendulkar. They're all into restaurants. They're all into restaurants. Mohanlal owns a few restaurants in Dubai. So your opportunities are plenty. Now, coming back to the college, these are some options if you want to do hospitality. My daughter wants to be a chef. I know a lot of lady chefs now who are coming up, because, and I don't want to tell you that it's not a tough industry to be in. It's an extremely tough industry. But if your passion is to be in the hospitality, again, I keep saying industry. If your passion is to be in the hospitality sector, you will survive. No industry is easy. Every industry is easy. That's how I would like to look at it. But if you exactly know where you're going, that's great. Now, given that your daughter wants to be a chef, there are many lady chefs in today's world, and they don't have to necessarily work in hotels. How many of them have their own YouTube channels, loving what they're doing and becoming popular? In fact, just because you mentioned your daughter, the Taj is opening a hotel now. I'm not sure when the inauguration is, with all lady employees. I think it's the first hotel in the world where Taj is opening only with lady employees. So, which is an absolutely safe environment to work in. The next question is, after 10th, do I have any options in catering sector? If so, which institutions? Yes. Like I mentioned before, after 10th, I think 10th is the entry qualification for a 1-year course. I'm not sure if it's still called the same. It used to be called a craft course. After completion of that, you would definitely get a job in the hospitality sector, be in hotels or anywhere else. But you would have to start as a commis. A cook is called a commis. There are 3-4 levels of commis. There's commis 1, commis 2, and commis 3. So you would probably start as a commis 2 or a commis 3. Nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong. I know many people who started as commis 1, commis 2, and climbed up the ladder and become executive chefs of hotels. Opportunities are plenty. Now, like I mentioned before, 20 years back when I passed out of college, I passed out in 1993. There were only 5 5-star hotels. And today in Chennai, I don't know, I've lost count. And also another important thing I would like to add here is that chefs overseas, when I say overseas, abroad, start their own restaurants and brands. So the chefs become their own brands. Like, for example, Gordon Ramsay. Who doesn't know Gordon Ramsay now? what's that UK chef? Who doesn't know him? Who doesn't know? I mean, who doesn't watch Cook with Komali? Does anyone watch Cook with Komali? Damu is my teacher, and Venkatesh Bhatt is my 2 years junior. In fact, he's my wife's batchmate. They joined Taj together. So there you go. You there's not just hospitality industry. You can also become popular. And that answers your question about your daughter and after 10th. Sorry, are there more
Important
questions?
question.
Oh,
What group do I choose after 10th? Should it be science, or I think that's what they mean, stream as in like commerce or
okay.
science?
It doesn't matter what stream. I think the entry level for hospitality is that, okay, it's not only a 12th mark, but there is also an entrance exam. It's more about aptitude test. It's something to do with math and with general knowledge. So there is an aptitude test. If you're planning to get into IHM, you need to prepare for it. It is not like what you hear. You fail in 10th and you didn't get good marks in 12th, come to hospitality. I would prefer you not to go to a college like that, because you straight away know what the standards are. So given that you have certain amount of standard, I would strongly recommend that you be very careful in choosing where you want to go.
So you
It's
mean
like
to,
sorry.
sorry, sir, please go ahead.
No, there are so many engineering colleges now, right? I was shocked because 5 weeks back I was in Chennai and somebody told me that, again, I'm not trying to say this college is good or that college is bad, but they were talking about a specific engineering college and they said the campus interview, people got selected for 80 lakhs and 90 lakhs annual income. I'm like, wow, that's fantastic. And that's the level they want to maintain. They want to make sure that every big IT company comes for campus recruitment to them. So that's a college that you want to choose for hospitality. You want to go somewhere. I think the questions you need to ask where institute you go is that, who are the campuses that come for the interview? You interview them. You get all the information because you're the one who's paying the money to do the course. So you have all the right to ask them questions about who comes for campus interview. How long is the course? Look at what your professors are. You can ask for a profile. I would say that when you go look for a hospitality, I mean, any industry for that matter, a lot of people do this mistake about picking up a job where it's the highly paid job. I've done that mistake too. I would say you have a clear path about where you want to go. And then the first job is very important because the first boss you have actually shapes you into what kind of a career path you have in your life. So you have to be very careful about the first boss that you work for. It doesn't matter how much you get paid. In fact, there's a saying where I'm not sure if you know Jack Ma, the founder of Alibaba. He says that even if you work for free, go and work for a person that you want to be. See yourself as being 5 years back. I still remember first time I was sitting in the chef's cabin with my chef at Taj, and he asked me, "Where do you want to be 5 years back?" I said, "I want to be sitting in your chair." He probably didn't like it, but that's what I wanted to do. So the first pause is very important. So you ask the questions about where you want to be. You have a benchmark. This is where you want to be. And please be very careful about what you post in social media. In today's world, what you casually post in social media, because interviews, when I interview people, I don't interview them so much. I look at what social media they're posting. That gives you an understanding of what kind of a person they are, what ideologies they have. So it's important to look at all of that. So which stream, to answer that question, any stream, it doesn't matter, but you still have to prepare for your aptitude test. So which college then, is there a question from the previous? Again, I said, Indus would be a good one if you want to work in cruise lines. The college in Hyderabad, I think it's called the College of Culinary Arts. That's a very good college where you want, because the chefs who run that college are good friends of mine. I'm not saying just because of that, because they have worked in cruise lines and they also have a lot of influence with executive chefs around the world. So yeah, that's a good one. And also, if you want to specialize only in bakery and confectionery, which is cake making, there are a lot of institutes that just popped up where they do only cake making, and they get chefs from Europe, which is undoubtedly the best place for confectionery. So they have chefs coming from there, and they also give you a business plan at the end of the course, as part of the course, saying This is what you could do after you finish your course. Degree in culinary arts, please suggest some good institute. Okay, again,
Sir. Hyderabad.
no, that's fine. But again, you're talking about in India or overseas, because there are a lot of culinary institutes overseas also that you can go to.
Sir, past 10th, sir, this is applicable only for students who completed their class senior secondary level, class 12, isn't it, sir?
Which one?
The kind of overseas colleges that you mentioned.
Yes, that's for year 12. They definitely year 12 they would ask for. Now, someone asked, I think Ms. Deepika has asked the question, is it worth becoming a chef in India? Do people actually value chef in India? Look, I think you need to value yourself first. I don't think I care too much about what people say, because when my friends used to mock me, when I said I'm going to become a chef, they said your job is to go check if there's salt in food every day. I said, doesn't matter. And you know what? 2 years into the hotel industry, every time they want a birthday cake, where do they come? They call me. Every time they want to have a party in a restaurant, whom do they call? They call me. So there's a lot of stigma still attached to hospitality in India, I would say, but that's changing too. And the scope is plenty. You will never, if somebody says that they've done hospitality and didn't get a job, something is wrong with not the industry, something wrong with them. They're not trying hard enough, or they probably don't want to work. See, Cafe Coffee Day, that's I was involved in the first cafe that started in Chennai called Quickies. It's not very popular right now, but what happened was the person who started that, he was from California. He said he took a photo of a cafe in California and said, I want that in Chennai. So I designed the menu for Quickies Cafe the first time they opened up a cafe. And after that, you see now how many, forget about what business problems Cafe Coffee Day has, but they are one of the biggest chains in India right now. And there's opportunity for you to work there as well. So the opportunities are plenty. I don't think, okay, value, everyone was talking about, everybody who works in IT has never done an IT course, right? It was all Y2K. They just wanted people with two hands and one head to work in IT then. Nothing wrong with that, but that was a need then. So today we need a lot of people, a lot of chefs in, and also I just want to clarify one thing. It doesn't mean that if you start your career as a chef, you get stuck as a chef. I started my career as a chef. It's about, I think, 14 years since I wore a chef uniform, because I don't work in the kitchen. I manage programs. I consult for small businesses. Trust me, businesses that I have absolutely no idea about. The last college I was working at, I was a national head. I was in charge of IT, courses, IT, accounting, business, hairdressing. I was doing hairdressing. Can you believe that? Hairdressing, fashion technology, and international business. So I was running the courses where I had about 250, trainers working under me. So what I'm trying to tell you here is, if you become a chef, it doesn't mean that you're going to be a chef all your life. There are opportunities where you can move out of the hospitality sector or in the hospitality sector. So it depends on the individual again.
There's this question on entry into IIHM is tough. Is there any institution providing coaching to get into it?
Oh, is that a question?
Yes.
How tough is the entry in IIHM?
It's like we have this FitGs to get into coaching for writing the J mains, sir. So they're asking if there's a coaching to write the exam so as to they can get good scores to get into the institute itself.
I really can't comment on that because I don't know. I don't want to just give an answer just because I want to give an answer. I don't know. But in saying that, the principal of IHM is a good friend of mine. Her name is Parimala. Me and she work together at Taj. So I'm more than happy to check with her and get back, or send me an email. I'm more than happy to talk to her.
Somebody has sold in an idea. Now we could start a coaching, like if for everything we start a coaching now. So coaching to get into premier institutes. So coaching to learn. Earlier when we were in school, we never had coaching to write the J mains, the IT exams or AIEEEs. We had to do the studying on our own. Now this is also a booming industry, sir, where the coaching institutes come up. They just spring up at any corner. They say they coach for a NEET. Now this is another one. I think now somebody would have got the idea of coaching children for the Indian Institute of Hotel Management also.
Yeah.
Everybody believes. Please go ahead.
And also, sorry, ma'am.
Please go ahead, sir. Please go ahead, sir.
And also, I would like to clarify here that you don't have to necessarily do hospitality management to get into the hospitality sector. There are also some hotels. Look at students who have done their, let's say, in fact, when I was with Taj had a program called, they used to call it the FOMI, Front Office Management. No, yeah, I think it was called FOM, Front Office Management. So they went to institutes where they were doing commerce or accounting or whatever, and they selected only gold medalists. And they had to go through 3 interview processes to get into Taj as front office management. So the guarantee was that when they started as front office management trainees, and then within 2 to 3 years, they would become assistant front office managers or lobby managers and then grow on from there.
So this is a question that I would like to ask, sir. Is there any scope for research, sir, in food industry? Do we have such institutes which works or on products or does some research on shelf life? Do we, or is it restricted to the R&D of a particular processing
No, there is one processing unit in Tanjavur. I think it's called the Food Processing Institute. They're called Food Processing Institute. I know that because a cousin of mine studied from there, and she owns her own bakery now. So there is a Food Processing Institute there. Yes, definitely, yes. And so they're good. They do food processing, and they have an R&D department as well.
Okay, so the research is restricted to the particular industry. There is no particular research going on at the national level or anything to do with that kind of research as we have in the field of pharmaceutical, where the government has a hold on it.
No, I don't think that, not to my knowledge, but I know that the government is very actively working on this certificates I was talking about, because there are different levels of certification depending upon what your scope of work is. For example, in Australia, where I live, you cannot go work in any place where you handle food without a food handler certificate.
Okay.
So by law, you need to have the basic, which talks about, temperature of food. It talks about basic hygienes. Then there is food handlers level 2, food handlers level 3. And then any operating business should have something called a food safety program, which is what India is trying to implement too. So that is I'm not sure what the organization in India does that, but it's something to do with food science. They have that. I'm not sure if they do any research per se, but there are a lot of individuals who are doing research. Increasing shelf life, for example, Modern Breads in Taramani did some research about increasing the shelf life of bread. So I think it's independent organizations that are doing it, but I wouldn't know of a government body that oversees that. And also in saying that, food safety, yeah, it's a very important part, because in today's world, with the contamination that's happening, I know an organization that takes food swabs from the buffet that's served. They actually test it in a lab, and then they send you a report the next day about the quality of. It's mandatory that you have to do it now. If you go to the food quality check, if you go to Singapore. If you go to Singapore, any place you go, there is a poster there with an alphabet on it. That alphabet is what they have earned because of the quality of food that they serve. So just looking at that, you would know that they're maintaining high quality of food standards. When I was I think there was
a question, sir.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Sir, we talk about preservatives, increasing the shelf life of food products. Usage of preservative is actually not very good for our health, right, sir? It generally
definitely
not good. But you were mentioning definitely not good. So how do we increase the shelf life when you go in with the quality or whatever you were telling about the researchers made going on with respect to increasing food? Definitely there will be an increase in the preservative used. How will that get checked, sir? QC checking, how will it happen, sir?
Yeah, I had one slide which I took it off. I probably should have put that on. That's actually people are researching on it. Do you know that? I don't know. I hope it doesn't come true at all, ever in any generation. They're talking about food capsules. You don't have to eat anymore. All you have to do is just take a capsule, which will give you enough
Absolutely.
protein, carbohydrate, minerals, all of that. I hope that doesn't ever come true, because I have an organic farm in Chennai, and my concept there was that we produce the food for us when I lived there before. So talking about preservatives, I'll give you a small example. When I was running a restaurant in Singapore, I had a British couple who came in, and do you know what is the UK's most favorite or national dish? Any guesses?
Bread, sir.
Chicken tikka
Strawberry and
masala. No,
Huh?
chicken tikka masala. That's
Oh,
the most favorite food. So I had this British couple who came, who ordered chicken tikka masala. They were having a meal. They called me, and they didn't call me. They called the manager and said, this is nonsense. This is not chicken tikka masala, even without touching it. So then I said, what's wrong? They said, no, this is not chicken tikka masala. You're trying to cheat us. I said, I went there. I said, what's wrong with the food? You haven't even tasted. No, this is not chicken tikka masala, mate. I said, why? It's not red in color. I'm like, who gave you the impression the chicken tikka masala has to be red? No, that's how it's served in the UK. I said, this is not UK, this is Singapore. So chicken tikka masala, the red color comes from the color. It takes more than 2 weeks for our body to get rid of that color. But I'm glad you brought that up. Today, people are working on food colors, which is from natural food products. I can tell you places in Chennai where you get clothes that is dyed with food. It's not chemicals. So there are people who are using food colors. Now, when you talk about preservatives, in today's world, we talk about canned food and frozen food and things like that. Why are these preservatives having even an opportunity to come to the market? Because we are giving them an opportunity. It's because of the easy lifestyle that we chose to be, right? But there are many preservatives that are being used. It will definitely have long-term effects on it. I think it's our responsibility to ensure that, because I have personally had an experience in my family member, my wife, who also is from the same industry, and then there was an infection that happened because of the food that we used to eat outside all the time, and she was a chef too, teaching people, and because she had to taste the food that they cook, which obviously had preservatives and all that, and then she finally had to give it up, and then we went totally into organic and nature cure. Let me just give you one example. I'm not sure if you've heard of this person called Fukuako. Okay, he's considered the father of natural farming. He's a Japanese man. He passed away many years back. So his father gave him a farm and said, this is yours, my son, take care of it. He did research for 20 years and found, what his research was? Every day he used to go sit in the farm and just look at the farm from morning to afternoon and come back home. That's the research he did. He realized that human intervention is not required to grow crops. Yeah. The forest will produce its own, fruits and everything. It's only humans who go and actually put effort to destroy the natural process. So there are a lot of techniques that he came up with. Namalwa does that. He says that all you need is 25 cents land, enough for a family of 4 to do everything there, which can be sustainably, you can live with that much. But in today's world of convenience, we get into preservatives.
So thank you, sir.
Sorry, the topic has just gone somewhere else, because that's another favorite topic of mine, sustainability and organic food.
It was great listening to you, sir. There's this one last question we could take, sir. Does a person pursuing B.Tech in biotechnology have a scope in food processing sector?
That
B.Tech
is a
in biotechnology.
that is a sector that's booming. A good friend of mine who works for a company in UK, works for a food processing unit, and he's a biotechnologist. So that's another industry that's booming, for the simple reason that a shortage of time. Now there's also another research that's happening saying that food that's frozen, they what do they call it? Like when you take frozen green peas, I think we get frozen green peas in India now.
We do, sir.
Yeah, the peas are all frozen individually, right? So the idea now, for example, fishing. When they do fishing, gone are the times when they used to get the fish catch from the ocean, bring it to the land and then process it. In today, there are freezer containers that goes on the ship. When the fish is caught, it gets processed and frozen immediately. So meaning which it's not left outside. So similarly, green peas and other vegetables gets frozen as soon as they get harvested. So now what the scientists are saying that there is more nutrition in frozen foods, correctly frozen food. Let me put it that way. Not frozen cooked food, frozen raw food, than something that you call fresh. When you say fresh, the vegetables that you get fresh is already 3 days old, isn't it? From the time it was harvested till it reaches the kitchen table.
Definitely.
When you talk about frozen, it gets harvested and gets frozen immediately. So now there are arguments saying that the frozen raw ingredients are actually much fresher than the so-called fresh food that you get. So in answering that question, biotechnology is a growing field, and there is a lot of scope in there. And a lot of hotels are now also trying to get their own biotechnologists to look at food. Do a Google search. Mr. Google knows everything now. So do a Google search and find out about, there is a chef, I forgot his name. He has just transformed the way we look at food. He's a biotechnologist. He's looked at food in a very different concept. And then he's creating food like a science. I think his thing is called the food lab or something. So he's doing an amazing job in making food so much more interesting, which is already interesting, by the way.
True, sir.
Please give an answer, sir. I'm not sure what question that was.
Sir, I think, please give an answer. Is it true? When I was checking about the catering management, it says, it told that there is no course only for catering management. It's like, I think the student means Google searching catering management course. There is no such course as catering management, exclusively that.
No, there is hospitality management. See, what happens in a traditional hospitality, let's say, I'm not sure if you're running out of time. Tell me if you're running out of time. Traditionally, in a diploma or now I think most of them have become degree courses. It's usually a 3-year course. In the first year, you study a lot of subjects, including maintenance and accounting and all of that. And then in the second year, you go for something called IET, which is Industrial Exposure IET, Industrial Exposure Training, where you spend continuously 6 months, or you spend 2 months and then you come back to the college, and then again if you go for 2 months. What am I answering right now? Sorry, I forgot.
You're answering the question on is there a exclusive only catering management?
Yeah, sure. So what you could do after that is that you choose what sector in the hotel you want to be. Somebody wants to go into, let's say, being a chef. Somebody wants to go into food and beverage service. Somebody wants to go into housekeeping. Somebody wants to go into purchasing. Somebody wants to go into front office. But there is no specific course called catering management. It's called hospitality management. So there are courses for catering operations, but I'm not sure if there are courses in India for that. There is definitely courses overseas. There are also courses overseas which says specifically international hotel management, where it deals only with international hotel chains. Le Cordon Bleu is a institute from France. They are the closest to India. They're in Malaysia. In fact, I was closely working with them to try and open up an institute in Chennai, but it didn't eventualize. So Le Cordon Bleu is an amazing institute for culinary arts and catering operations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your patience in answering all the questions. I'm sure we all had some takeaways from this session. A thank you note from Mr. Raja, sir, we have now.
Ashwinji, if you can play the video.
Yes, ma'am. I shared the Thanksgiving video from Raja.
It's a great honor for me to be a part of the career guidance webinar, and I would like to thank the D.A.V management and the principal, Ms. Radha Madam, and the associates and the support crews of D.A.V and the attendees who have been participating in the webinar. I hope our views on food industry will be a good opening for many upcoming talented students to the industry. Wish them all the very good luck, and signing off from Raja. Namaste and Jai Hind.
Thank you, Ashwin sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Now I would like to request our HM ma'am, Srimati Bhuvana ji, to propose the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Prasupta ma'am.
Thank
Namaste, everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to give the vote of thanks today, session 28 on career options in catering and food technology. Our panelists, Sri Rajaji and Sri Vijayji, have invested their precious time in hand-holding us today in this session. Thank you is a very, very simple expression of gratitude. My humble pranams and thanks to our panelists. Mr. Raja, during the course of his presentation, spoke to us, or his slides were basically on what is food industry, importance of food production, scope of food management, high-tech food production, organic food products, healthy diet, and global business opportunities. Creativity and smart work is the base requirement to enter into the field of food technology, is what Sri Rajaji quoted, and this was a great cue for all our students. And Sri Vijayji, during his PowerPoint, the slides were on the chain of hotels, the airlines, the connect Vijayji gave with food and NASA. Truly awesome, sir. It was really a great takeaway. Future of hospitality sector, hygiene, innovation, sustainability, the list of hospitality courses, opportunities abroad, and a few of your personal experiences are true inspirations to us, sir. Thank you so much for that. Your network is your net worth, is what you mentioned. And that is a big takeaway for all of us, not only in this industry, but on a day-to-day basis and in any profession that we choose, any career we choose. This networking that you are insisting on is a big takeaway, sir. Your network is your net worth. Quotes, excellent quotes, sir. Thank you so much. And the mantra your mantra was conviction. That was the apt word every child must take up, sir. Mantra of conviction should be there, especially when they take up this industry, this career as the future. The mantra of conviction in what they are doing has to be in their mind. Good food brings family together is a good old saying. This session has cemented our association with Mr. Raja and Mr. Vijay. We as a family now promise to guide our children in their career of catering and food technology if chosen. Thank you, respected Principal Ma'am, Srimati Radha Subramanian, for supporting us every time throughout our sessions, and our teacher coordinators, Sri Ashwinji from the HO, our parents and our dear children. My pranams to the Parampita for the success of this session. Thank you so much. Namaste, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Namaste, ma'am. Namaste, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all coordinators. Thank you, Ashwinji.
you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.